Welcome to your magic moon message. This is the peace dealer. The moon is in Scorpio and the sun is in Pisces. Okie dokie. We're getting ready for the new moon in a week. Whew. Very divine quality activations that are prepared to quite literally take you beyond everything that you might even think is possible right now. On top of bringing the end of the world as you know it, on top of activating brand new 30-year karmic cycles that with Neptune are about 150 plus years in the making, and with Pluto in Aquarius literally 248 years in the making. I'm just gonna keep mentioning that just so I can add gravitas to the situation that may not even really be here, but you know what, saying this just makes it sound so much cooler. Anyway, the moon is in Scorpio, and that is enacting a 240-degree moon to sun angle. 240 degrees to 270 degrees of the moon will represent the Sagittarius signature. The Sagittarius signature is one of ascension. Once again, this means that the 0-degree conjunction made between the sun and the moon last during the new moon in Aquarius has turned from a 90-degree integration from the moon in Taurus to the sun in Aquarius to the full moon 180-degree opposition from moon in Virgo to sun in Pisces, and that will subsequently create a 270-degree moon in Sagittarius to sun in Pisces angle, thus giving us a completion of this divine game changer. Okay, ever since that full moon, your perspective has been considerably changing, as it always does, in light of course, collective narratives that are prepared to drive us forward for the rest of the year. Hopefully you're not believing in outright BS. The fog of social pressure in midst of literal theories and beliefs devoid of any analysis or actual truth can be a fog storm that can mislead you away from a proper path to take through the fog that you really won't have to worry about if you maintain authenticity and the courage to, you know, make your own individual authentic decisions. You know, sometimes in this life, you do things that are right for you. They are authentic to you. They align to your own code and integrity, regardless of if a bunch of other people who have an advantage of you doing the opposite don't get their way or not. As you can tell who someone is by how they react when you tell them no. And when you apply this to society-wide influence, this is geared to reveal the real power of yourself as an individual, whether you will bow to the social pressure and conform or not be a bitch. Excuse my language. Anyway, yeah, once we get to that moon in Sagittarius angle, 270 degrees from the sun, this is going to complete, of course, the harvest of this perspective, this changed perspective. The moon in Virgo changed your behavior. The moon in Libra now took that understanding of the facts, the detailed analysis, and it transformed with the moon in Libra actions, you know, the balanced understanding of how we apply the analytical perspective that we have received. And now the moon in Scorpio is adding sauce on that kitty. I don't know why I said that. It's adding sauce to what it is you are harvesting. It's strengthening the psychological understanding and quality of everything that you previously analyzed. In that, Virgo gave you an analytical understanding of this changing narrative, and now Scorpio is giving you a, you guessed it, psycho analytical understanding. we are deepening our analytical understanding with a psychoanalysis so that we can go deeper into the fuckery. I mean, the pandemonium, the chaos, the peace, the inspiration. It's the end of the world. I don't know what else you want to say. The world is ending, okay? The world as you know it is ending. It's a surreal moment. The memes are lit. I mean, I don't think this is what you thought it would look like, where it's like that movie 2020 where like cars are just like crashing each other and planes are crashing. No, it's just like every other day, but just with dank memes and just a whole host of people going out sad and getting exposed. But I mean, who didn't know this would... Who didn't know people would get exposed? Anyway, this is without, you know, feeding into this need for drama. The moon in Scorpio is in this 240 to 270 degree, completing the harvest. Okay, once we reach 270 degrees, you're done harvesting these crops. Now it's time for you to see the higher meaning of the perspective of belief. You are not only actively changing, but of course, the coolest thing about this moon in Scorpio is this is going to provide the psychoanalytical insight and understanding, the wisdom that once the moon goes into Sagittarius, you will be revealed the meaning of said wisdom. That means there's a lot of sauce being revealed today. And when I say sauce, if Leo is the drama, you know, the spiciness, Scorpio is the sauce. It just intensifies the spicy drama. In light of things that have been revealed, please don't get distracted by, you know, very tantalizing headlines and, you know, things getting quote unquote exposed. Most of these things are just distractions. Most of these people want a quick buck. It's very important you stay focused on what dream you are imagineering. The Cazimi of Mercury, Sun, and Saturn that activated yesterday is now moving forward today. And so with the moon that's going to make a 240 degree angle to give us a closing trine, because you have opening trines that are more creative and integrative, and then you have closing trines that are more harvest and breakthrough focused. So not only have we activated this contract with our brains to almost activate reality warping potential of what we imagine, but if anything, a system of beliefs we will commit to over the next 6 months. The moon in Scorpio is strengthening the quality of how well we can imagine and believe in light of the understanding of wisdom that will align and quite literally reveal and show you what direction and angle to believe in because of the wisdom that you're not only being revealed, but is a harvest of the perspective we began to change in Virgo. And the perspective began to change because you started to understand the reality. You started to come into receipts and facts about things you were prepared to believe, about entire perspectives, about the self-concept of you as an individual. All right. This is cool because this is also going to unlock, in line with, of course, the opposition to Jupiter and Uranus and Taurus, and then, of course, the square angle, the 270 degree square that the moon is making to Mars and Venus in Aquarius, is through this pressure strengthening the quality of energy that will enhance the experience produced through Pisces. All right, the quality of your physical strength and values in Taurus, the psychological understanding in Scorpio, and the advanced celestial knowledge that's awakening in Aquarius is going to enhance the quality of the perspective you are imagineering in Pisces. It's going to strengthen the effect of what you're perceiving, and it's going to tie in and align loose threads that maybe you weren't expecting to be aligned like so. A very important facet of a transit like this is it not only strengthens your own psyche, but it reveals idiosyncrasies and microaggressions from those who, once again, are not really standing on anything real. And so they have to twist the meaning of your words, engage in fallacious rhetoric. Remember, at the core, these people are weak. They need someone to feel better than. And when you are standing on shifting stand, what's real cannot be threatened. When what you are purporting and standing up for is fake, you're going to be constantly threatened by things that poke holes in the falsity of it. Nothing that's real has to be busy defending itself from this, and that. It's only fake people who do. All right. So with that being said, you know, this is going to, in strengthening your own psyche, continue to unveil in this changing perspective the weakness of others around you who are threatened by the strength of your own conviction and the integrity of you just being you. All right. Everything about this is very transformative, and the Sagittarius signature is ascending this psychological understanding to aid in the activation of this new karma. Let's just call it for what it is. This is new karma. This is the Reaper signing a new contract with you. All right. And it's just very magical, because this is going to, coming into the moon in Sagittarius, reveal and unveil the supernatural abilities and superpowers and God level abilities that you've been awakening for the past decade. And this is now transforming how you apply this belief in breaking through this harvest of your own self-concept by continuing to reveal to you the causality and the cause and effect, rather causality, the experience between what you imagine, think, and what actually happens, opening up a system of belief in metaphysical principles and concepts that represent the 99+% of the electromagnetic spectrum that you can't see but still exists, and you still interface and literally incorporate and integrate into your reality anyway, through your beliefs and, you know, through your own feelings, thoughts, and your psyche. All right. So no one can tell you how to do this. This is really just going to harvest what you've taught yourself through experience. What, of course, you sow is what you reap. All right. And it's time for you to come into the final reaping of this before we come into the higher meaning of seeing the unseen. We're going to get ready to understand the vision of the metaphysical. We're going to see into the dream. And that's how we're going to conclude this Pisces season before we actually activate the new moon. Another week and a few days, another week and change. All right. And yeah, it's a lot to look forward to. The opposition of the moon and Taurus. All right. The moon in Scorpio and Jupiter and Uranus and Taurus is going to innovate radically the evolution of your natural physical ability to harness energy, both extra dimensionally and naturally. And that sounds like science fiction. But do you know yet that reality is stranger than fiction? Some of you don't. And you're being pressured to conform by people who don't know really crap about crap and are still boistering around these theoretical models of the universe that are outdated as all heck. But I guess I'm not better. I talk to Mercury and Jupiter like they my real homies. And Jupiter sends Sagittarius men and women talk on its behead. So I'm in some fantasy world. It is what it is. I'm just a pseudoscientist. Anyway, you guys stay blessed as always. Shout out to those of you for rocking with me. We are in the midst of the status quo changing, the narratives changing. People are being heavily disillusioned. And instead of just getting distracted by all that, really focus on what God has been guiding you. Because God doesn't give a damn about what humans care about. There's nothing in the whole host of human history that has ever really been as significant outside of gossip or the way we kind of hold ourselves to a higher esteem, when all we've really succeeded in doing over the past few centuries is destroying the motherfucking planet. So, you know, it's amazing that we're getting ready to awaken to more so the true purpose of why we're all here. And it's cool that we didn't need a pastor or a preacher for that, a scientist, a scholastic disinformation that conditioned us over the past few years. You have a direct connect to this universal energy. And this is going to continue to imagineer a lot of your own connection with this universal aspect of yourself that you don't need to pay for in order to avoid going to hell. And you can finally reestablish more than ever collectively with everyone this divine connection. All right. Because the kingdom of God is within you. And yeah, you don't need to buy a $500 course from me to learn how to tap into God. You guys stay blessed as always. And until next time, peace.